$150,000 into the show. And now we're in segment, are you ready? 2. All right, here we go. We're into the meat and potatoes of the show. Now, Andine, we had so much going on in segment 1 that we didn't get to something that you have a little bit of passion about. Guns.
Shoot 'em up, bang, bang.
Boy, all my lovable left-wing friends, I love you. Mwah. They didn't like it when I said if all women were armed, if all women were grown up in this country to when by the time they were 15 they had a gun instead of a car, crime as we know it would end like that.
Well, I'm a firm believer in the right to carry a gun. And I've also advocated if you're going to carry a gun, you have to be educated.
That's right.
You have to.
That's
if
right.
you're not educated, don't carry it. And I, this year, took my CCW class, Concealed Weapons class.
That's right.
And it was one of the best classes I have ever taken because it educated me on the things that I was ignorant to. Bottom line, if I'm involved in a shooting, I'm going to jail. I may not be convicted, I may not be, booked, but they're going to take me because they have to sort out the details.
That's right.
And so with...
That's what lawyers are for.
Exactly, and that's a good point. My biggest takeaway out of a class of about 45 of us, and there were only 3 women in this class.
Wow.
Which was disturbing to me.
Yeah.
But one of the questions they asked was, if you are arrested in a gun-related situation, do you have a criminal defense attorney? I was the only one in the entire class that raised my hand.
Wow.
And not only do I have a criminal defense attorney, he is not only in my phone, I have his business card. You need his business card, their business card, her business card.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give you your phone, your tablet, your computer to pull up the number. If you have a business card, they will give it to you.
Very interesting information.
Don't say anything. Call your lawyer. It's just that simple. But the class taught me so much more, and I just think that more women need to be educated. So with the help of One Lucky Gal, we are going to put on a series of self-defense classes.
Very
good. The first
good.
one that we're doing is a concealed weapons class. So if you already have a gun and you want to be able to carry it concealed, we're going to put together this class, and we're starting it this month. So I've sent out emails to those that are in our networking group.
Right.
I also posted it on Facebook yesterday.
That's right.
And today.
I saw that.
The first class it's either going to be a Tuesday or a Saturday. You have a choice.
Okay.
So if you want more information, go to oneluckygal.com. That's the number 1, luckygal.com, and that will show you some information there. Or you can go to our web or our Facebook page, our Instagram page. It's all the number 1, One Lucky Gal.
Right.
And it'll give you all the information you need. If you still have questions, please reach out to me personally because it's so very important. So this will be our first class. Then we're going to go into self-defense, mothers and daughters.
Mothers and daughters.
Self-defense class.
Oh, man.
We're going to do just this whole series of how can you protect yourself as a woman today. And my thing for me personally, and I know it's not for everybody, I carry a gun. I have a 6 Sauer 380. I carry my gun. I know how to use my gun. I'm licensed with my gun, and I have my concealed weapons. Now, my husband says I should never give out that information, but I want women to understand how very important it is to understand what it means to carry a gun.
Well, I like I said, I got in a lot of trouble when I said it, but there's no doubt in my mind if women were armed, if everybody kind of walked down the street and in their mind knew that 90% of the women that were walking down the street had a gun in their purse, believe me, crime would end as we know it. So I'm a big advocate of that. So, of course, One Lucky Gal is part of the Danny Vegas platform, so we will be pushing that out quite a bit over, because it's in a couple of weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
First class is the end of the month.
Yeah, so we'll be pushing that out quite a bit. Get some women involved and get to know the One Lucky Gal brand, and that's very cool because that brand's going to be doing all kinds of cool stuff. I kind of have an idea in my head. I know Nicole Taylor Sharp Tank has something that she's working on, and that's what's cool about the brand. All 3 of us kind of have our separate projects that we just use the brands, and it's very, very cool. Okay.
And it's all empowering.
It's all empowering. So anyway, you know what I wanted to... I know we don't get too political on this show, and I'm not going political here. I'm not. Okay, stop. Just stop texting. Get the phones down.
Pretty.
Okay. But anyway, I was thinking about this healthcare stuff.
Oh, God.
And I just really, as an American, I'm hurt.
Why?
Because it seems like we have 3 groups here. All kind of just staring at each other, giving each other. We have the folks that are in the exchanges and they get subsidies, and now that may be taken away, and they're angry. It's hard to take anything away. We understand, and we have empathy for folks who just can't afford this stuff. And so we have those folks. Then we have the folks that are not in the exchanges that are just got creamed with super high premiums. The deductibles are so high they can't use it. And then you got folks that have their insurance through their employer, and they're just more concerned like who Pittsburgh drafted in the football draft, because quite frankly, it's not even on my radar, okay? I don't even think about this stuff, all right? My wife has the insurance. I'm more worried about trying to get my green grass to grow in the front yard.
See, I'm lucky like you.
Yeah, so we have three groups, and it's almost like they're just standing there and I hate to use the word Mexican, but like a Mexican standoff, just staring at each other. And I just don't, if one gives up one, it helps the other. If one keeps the subsidies, it hurts the other. And you just have these two large American groups that are now literally standing toe to toe. And I don't know, that's what I'm not getting political. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm sure that was not the purpose. But that's what it seems like we're at. We literally have two groups needing help, and to help one's going to hurt the other.
There's got to be a common denominator. Ironically, yesterday, Tiger and I were chatting about this, and he's like, why do we even have two parties? Aren't we supposed to be a nation that comes together as one to work as a group? I mean, me personally, I'm lucky like you. My husband has great insurance, but our insurance went up. My husband is diabetic. He is reliant on insulin every day. We can afford it, thank God, but it went up over $100 a month.
Wow.
So why is this happening?
That's $1,200 a year.
Why can't they come to a common ground? I know the really wealthy people are tired of paying for the poor people. The middle class are tired of paying. I get it, but there's got to be a common denominator. I do have a hard time when I know somebody has that little that debit card that they can use now when they're on welfare, and I know what it looks like. But then they have an iPhone 7. Their nails are done. They have a Louis handbag.
Well, that's another issue. That's another issue. I know you get.
How do you come together as one and figure this out? There's too many egos involved.
It's a deep. It's deep. Over the last 30 years, I try to say it this way. It's so simple to kind of think of it this way. Back in 1970s, if you went to a mall or something, there were 2 handicap spots, and they were always empty. Because to literally use them, you had to have one of those big vans and a wheelchair, and you drop the guy down in a wheelchair. Now there's 50 handicap spots, and they're full, and people are fighting for them.
Yeah.
What does that say? All right, it's almost sort of
handicapped. With all due respect, I'm having an asthma attack.
And so I don't know. I didn't want to get too far. I really have been thinking about. I try to stay really independent and all this stuff, and I just understand everybody's argument here. I understand that people don't want to give up what they got because, our friend, Rich Shaw, thank God he was in the military for all this years, so he just got sick and he spent 3 weeks in the hospital. That would just bust most families. They would just forget it, just hire the bankruptcy lawyer. Yeah. So I just really kind of thought about that, and I just wanted to get your input on that, because I just see, unless you go one way with a single player or you go back to the open market, I don't know, man. It's above my pay grade, as the ex-president said.
Right.
I don't know what to do.
I'm torn over it. I'm a hardworking woman. I had insurance my entire life until I went into my own independent business.
Right.
I pay to have my own insurance. It would cost me almost $800 a month.
$800 a month.
I'm lucky my husband has his. His heart attack cost us $280,000. But guess what? We had insurance. We were blessed. So the people with all this money who are trying to make these decisions need to take a step back to the reality of the world. There's got to be a compromise. There has to be a happy median. Pull your ego, pull your attitude out of it, put your opinions on the table based on facts.
I don't know, because everybody's got great facts. You got people,
they have opinions.
Right. Well, we got people, they lose their health care here, and then you got people paying 10 times more, $800 a month here, and it, oh my goodness gracious.
I had a client, Shannon.
I know we only got 17 seconds left,
so hurry up. She was a professor, and she was a fact checker. I would love to pick her brain right now on this one. She would tell you everything.
There's all kinds of arguments. Anyway.
Too deep.
Too deep for us. We'll be back for segment 3 right after this.